Hi gang, Denise here, and I'm super excited to tackle the great debate, I'm going to call it, because I see it come up so frequently in online discussions or in yoga teacher training or among yoga teachers. And that is, it is whether or not the knees should be bent or straight in forward folds. Okay. Here's what I have to say about it. I'm just going out on a limb and I'm going to give you my reasons, and I'm going to give you the next 3 videos to fully discuss this. And that isn't even a full discussion. I'm going to do my best. All right. Number 1, you should have a slight bend at your knees in forward folds of any kind if you have a habit of locking your knee, which is this, locking the knee. I cannot hyperextend, but you that can hyperextend your knee, please, if you have a habit of hyperextending or locking the knee in your postures, please bend your knees in forward fold. You need a change in the stimulus. Number 2, please bend the knees in forward folds if you have limited ankle range of motion. So that means that, in say something like a squat, you have to be here, or in your downward facing dog, you have to be here because the ankles can't come down. That indicates a reduction, or like you don't have full range of motion at your ankles. Please bend your knees in forward folds. Number 3, if you have reduced hip flexion, so if you tend to avoid flexing at your hip, which is this, which is this, which is this, if your hips do not like to go into that position, please bend your knees in forward folds. Number 4, if you self-diagnosed, say you have tight hamstrings, if what you feel in a forward fold is tightness in your hamstrings, screaming hamstrings, please bend your knees in forward fold. And number 5, if you have low back pain, please bend your knees in forward fold. All right, I'm going to tackle the first 2 points. Subsequent videos will be the next one. Number 1, if you have, what was number 1? Habits. You know what? Movement is all about habits. So when you are in your movement practice, which yoga is, please develop good habits there. If you tend to lock, or if you can hyperextend the knee, understand that that is a collapsed passive position. Your muscles turn off when you do this. This is muscles turn off. I can literally hang my muscles here, or hang on my muscles, hang on my connective tissues. I don't have to activate my muscles. You try this in your own body. If I make my knees so that they're straight, but they're not locked anymore, they're just straight, they're not exactly bent, but they're not locked, now my muscles turn on. You know what? The more I bend my knees, the more they turn on. So if you are, if you have those habits, you have a weakness around your knees, and you should be turning on your muscles so that you get better support for the knees. Okay, that's a very important thing to understand. The other thing I'll address this time is ankle range of motion. So as I showed, when you hyperextend, or you have a habit of locking the knee, look, I just took the bend out of my ankle to quite a degree. If I bring my knee back over my ankle, you see my ankle is bending more. Let's avoid that and get the ankle bending so that maybe one day we can have full ankle range of motion in downward facing dog, in squat poses, in a forward fold. So ankle range of motion is very important in walking and getting up and down off the ground in so many of our human movements that we do every day. Ankle range of motion is a big limitation for some people. So those are my reasons, 1 and 2. Stay tuned for 3, 4, and 5 of why the knees should not be locked in a forward fold. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to invite you to make comments, challenge me, let's start arguing if you want, but love to hear from you, okay? And I will see you next time. Bye for now.